We all talk about being stressed out, but what does that really mean for our bodies? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the body's built-in alarm system and uncover the surprising physical link between a tough day at the office and your long-term health.
Okay, to kick things off, check out this story from Johns Hopkins Medicine. Get this, a man's blood sugar was totally normal. That is, until his boss walked into the room. His body was having a massive physical reaction to something that was purely a psychological threat. And that right there, that's exactly what we're going to unpack today.
So we all know what stress feels like, right? That tension, the racing thoughts. But what's it actually doing inside our bodies? How does something like a looming deadline or a difficult conversation physically change our biology? Let's dive in.
At its heart, this stress response is actually an ancient survival tool. It's a pretty brilliant piece of biological engineering, really, fine-tuned over thousands of years to handle short-term physical threats, like escaping a predator, not navigating rush hour traffic.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of it. How does this internal alarm system actually work? Well, it all comes down to this amazing hardwired emergency protocol, the famous fight or flight response.
The second your brain even thinks there's a threat, and here's the crazy part, it can't tell the difference between a tiger and an angry email from your boss. It smashes the panic button. This unleashes a chemical cascade, a flood of hormones that have one purpose, to get your body ready for immediate, powerful action. And it's an incredibly efficient process. It happens in a flash. Step 1, your brain spots the danger. Step 2, hormones go flying. Step 3, your body is instantly supercharged. Your heart starts pounding, your blood pressure shoots up, you are primed with fuel to either fight the threat or run away from it.
And here are the key players in this whole operation. Research from the National Library of Medicine points to two main types of stress hormones. Now, don't worry about memorizing the names. Just know they have one shared mission. Dump a ton of sugar into your bloodstream to give you that massive instant burst of energy for your muscles and brain.
Now, this system is brilliant for short bursts, but here's the kicker. What happens when this amazing short-term solution becomes a chronic, long-term problem? What happens when that alarm bell just never, ever stops ringing?
And this slide just nails the problem perfectly. Acute stress. That's like a fire alarm that goes off when there's smoke, does its job, and then shuts off. Chronic stress, on the other hand, is that same alarm just blaring all day, every day for weeks, months, or even years.
The material from Johns Hopkins calls this the wear and tear effect. And think about what that means. It's like running an engine in the red all the time. According to the Mayo Clinic, these repeated short spikes in blood pressure can actually cause damage that's really similar to having long-term high blood pressure. Your system just isn't built to be on high alert forever.
So where does all this wear and tear actually lead? Well, now we're going to connect the dots between that constantly ringing alarm and two of the most serious health issues we face today, high blood pressure and type 2 diabetes.
So how does that happen exactly? Well, the connection isn't always a straight line, but it is incredibly powerful. It's a combination of our biology being pushed way past its limits and, just as important, our own behaviors, how we act when we're under pressure.
Okay, this slide is super important, so let's break it down. For high blood pressure, the Mayo Clinic is clear. It's often about our coping mechanisms, the unhealthy ways we react to stress. But for type 2 diabetes, the link is much more direct. According to a review in PMC, that constant flood of stress hormones and high blood sugar can lead straight to insulin resistance, which is the hallmark of the disease.
And yeah, here are those behaviors the Mayo Clinic is talking about. Let's be real. Does any of this look familiar? When we feel completely overwhelmed, our healthy habits are usually the first things to fly out the window. We reach for comfort food, we skip the gym, maybe we even forget to take our medications. So after all that, here is the good news. This is not a life sentence. While we can't just eliminate stress from our lives completely, we can learn to manage our response to it. It's all about learning how to find the off switch for that internal alarm.
So how do we do that? The research points to a really clear two-part strategy for taking back control. It's not about finding some magic button, but about knowing which levers you can actually pull.
As the Johns Hopkins material lays out so well, you've basically got two levers. First, you can try to change the situation itself. Maybe that means adjusting your schedule, delegating a task, or just learning to say no. But when you can't change the situation, you change your response to it.
And this is your toolkit for changing your response.
Drawing from the Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins, these are proven strategies to help calm your nervous system down. Things like regular exercise, getting enough sleep, or even simple deep breathing techniques. They sound basic, but they are incredibly powerful tools for hitting that reset button.
Honestly, this timeless advice, highlighted in the Johns Hopkins material, is the perfect summary for that whole strategy. It's all about knowing where to put your energy, focusing on what you can control, and learning to let go of what you can't.
And check this out, what a powerful story. You'd think a health diagnosis would just pile on more stress, right? But for this person, getting control of their health forced them to simplify, to make some hard choices. And the end result, believe it or not, was a much more manageable and less stressful life.
So as we wrap up, I'll just leave you with this question to think about. What's one small thing you can do today, either by changing your situation or changing your response, to start quieting your own internal alarm?
Your health matters, mind, body, and spirit. At MUSE Integrative Care, we offer primary care, mental health, and holistic wellness. Visit www.museintegrativecare.com. Call 302-232-5739 or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, or wherever you listen to podcasts for tips, education, and self-care. MUSE Integrative Care, complete care for a complete you.